Hey, Michael Matt here. You tired of those annoying ads cluttering up our YouTube videos? We are too. Start watching our show at the totally ads-free remnant-tv.com. All that. I want to do a quick follow-up to last week's program, which we talked about the city of Chicago, the Blue Cities, turning into pretty much all-out war zones now, and a singular lack of any serious moral or spiritual response from the Catholic Church. Because there's a connection here to what's happening to Fox, what just happened to Tucker Carlson, what's happening to traditional Catholics as far as Pope Francis canceling the most successful thing in the Catholic Church today, the Latin Mass communities. Why is he doing this? I want to talk about this. And so we look at what's happening in these cities. You look at a guy like Father Michael Flagger, probably the most well-known Catholic priest in Chicago, unfortunately. And what's he doing? Is he trying to bring people back to Christ? Is he trying to bring the moral law of the church back? No, he's accusing Walmart of being racist, as we showed you last week, of being racist for pulling their stores out of a completely untenable situation where there's nothing but riot, bloodshed, thieving going on, and no moral authority to rein it in. But of course, it's not just Walmart. Here in the underground, we too are considered racist and dangerous for daring to observe the obvious about what's happening to our country. That, for example, the most egregious racists in this country are these left-wing lunatic Democrats who've been exploiting the black community for decades. You see? Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that, right? I realize that. But you simply cannot separate abortion from what's happening. If you have young people growing up in an environment where everybody from the mayor to mom to dad to the siblings are fine with your little sister, your little brother being exterminated in the womb, where is this young person supposed to get any appreciation for life at all? They're living in a culture of death in inner city America, and that's the problem. And instead of anybody trying to do anything about it, they're just going hog wild to lift all restrictions on abortion. It's happening right now in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, this crazy governor of ours. They have billboards all over this town. Lift Minnesota's restrictions on abortion now. Trouble is, there are no restrictions on abortion. So what's going on here? You see? But this is key. This is the moral component that's key to understanding everything that's happening to our country. So let's not forget, for example, which community it was that was annihilated first by Margaret Sanger and her psycho, creepy, old eugenicists a long time ago.
Planned Parenthood of Greater New York is removing the name of Margaret Sanger, a founder of the national organization, from its Manhattan clinic. The abortion provider says it made the decision because of Sanger's, quote, harmful connections to the eugenics movement. Pro-lifers are responding. In a statement, Susan B. Anthony List says, quote, the next step for Planned Parenthood is recognizing that Margaret Sanger's racist legacy continues today as abortion continues to disproportionately impact minority communities, especially the black community.
So finally, Planned Parenthood itself finally had to come out, and that conspiracy theory became another spoiler alert, didn't it? It turns out Planned Parenthood has been after the minority communities from the very start. So how does that make you feel, Black America? Are you really going to keep doing it? Supporting guys like Joe Biden, who can't wait to exterminate all of us, but especially the inner city, lower income communities. He can't wait. He's just fixated on abortion.
The Vice President and I are doing everything to protect access to reproductive health care.
Right? And they're not even denying it anymore. And now you've got social, moral, of course, spiritual chaos in all of these communities. Not according to me, but according to Black Americans who've simply had enough.
I'm about to make some people mad. And as I see it, the Black community is the weakest link in the United States, and we need to step it up. Where are these children's parents? So yeah, the world sees Black children out here acting like this, and then we as Black people want to get mad when Black children or Black people are stereotyped as dangerous or people feel unsafe around us. If we don't want to be stereotyped in a negative light, let's not give people something to stereotype us about.
Whoopsie, better cancel that guy because his message clearly doesn't fit the narrative, does it? You know, and this has been going on for a while. We did that clip of, who's the actor? Denzel Washington, long time ago. Yeah, you want to blame the system for the fact that they've broken and shattered the family in the inner cities, especially in the black community?
I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. I said, who? He said, little yummies. Look up, Google Little Yummy. Little Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer.
Wow.
And you look at his picture, you'll see the headshot of him, and he's like this. And he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old.
Wow.
Who's doing life now, and a 16-year-old.
That makes no sense.
You blame the system? Where was his father?
Yeah.
It starts in the house. It starts in the home.
All of this is to bait all of us into a race war and distract us from an attack on America, its Constitution, and primarily, it's an attack on God. If you're a believer, you got to wake up and look at what they're doing. They're attacking God. You think they're attacking you. They're not. They're attacking God.
So all these guys are the Reverend Al Sharpton's wake-up screaming nightmare, right? Because they don't fit the narrative. Black Americans speaking out, only to discover that the racist Democrat Party, that the racist mainstream media refuses to let them speak. Because this is what they're trying to say.
Doesn't it make you cringe as I read that to you? Makes you crawl in your skin. It's a dastardly deed. The question today is, who is the pervert that's allowing this to be purchased and delivered to our libraries? Who is the pervert that signs off on this bill? Who are you? What do you stand for to accept this? Can you be in your right mind and be decent as a human to allow this to be at the access and the fingertips of children? We know who the perverts are. There's one political party in this country that supports this junk. It's the Democrat Party. It's a party that castrates children, mutilates children, perverts children, grooms children, murders children, and indoctrinates children. We know who the perverts are. Who is the pervert?
Dang. Did you feel that? Did you feel that? The truth is so powerful when it's presented like that, especially when everyone around you is living a lie. The truth is so powerful. We can't do anything other than double and triple and quadruple down on speaking the truth, okay? And it's working. It's not the end. Or else it's just going to disappear into the ride off into the sunset and never be seen again.